All right, Chris. About, what, 2 hours ago?
I actually got back probably like 3 hours ago.
Ah, okay.
So
Well,
I'm about 4 hours removed from this because it's not a long movie.
yeah, 93 minutes exactly, I believe. Um, by the way, we're talking about R.I.P.D.
Rest
This,
in Peace Department.
yes, but it's not called that. It's called the R.I.P.D. Actually, it's the R. Dot I. Dot P. Dot D. Dot D. Dot. So,
Yeah, that's stupid.
but yeah, I don't want to start with this movie as far as like me talking about it because I'm just gonna unload a bucket of hate onto this movie, and I think well actually no, I'm gonna open up this whole thing with one question. Chris, you already know what the question is, and I want you to give me that answer you've been wanting to give me. My biggest question for why was this fucking movie made?
Because right now we are in a point where cinema, the thing that sells the most is comic book movies. So they grabbed a comic book franchise that probably didn't cost them a whole lot to get the rights for.
Mm-hmm.
They put Ryan Reynolds in it and Jeff Bridges because Jeff Bridges made a lot of his money off of Iron Man. He has a lot of cred for Big Lebowski, and they got Ryan Reynolds, who's kind of nerd chic right now from Deathstroke, not Deathstroke, Deadpool, and Green Lantern, and they made a
Also,
movie off of it.
also a terrible adaptation of Deadpool inside of X-Men Wolverine Origins.
Yes, but I'm sure they got a cute guy in the movie, which is what they wanted. They wanted like their cute Hollywood protagonist. They
Hmm.
got Jeff Bridges, so they get a character who's got a lot of popularity, just kind of has this enigma personality, and they got a comic book franchise, one that not a lot of people know, but has enough on its surface value that people can see it and be like, "Ooh, that looks interesting." Which is ironically how they got me, or not ironically, but very much coincidentally how they got me to theaters.
I, out of this whole thing, I'm generally not a Ryan. What's his name?
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Sorry, I'm blanking already. I'm generally not hating on him when it comes to most movies he does. I don't care about him. So he really didn't bother me this whole movie. Jeff Bridges bothered me.
Okay, so here's the essential premise of R.I.P.D. Uh, Ryan Reynolds plays a cop, Nick Walker, I think is his name, who's partners with another cop in Boston, Kevin, who's played by Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
And the two of them, at the start of the movie, have apparently, off of an arrest, they managed to get a bunch of gold, and they split it between the two of them.
No spoilers.
And well, no, I mean, this is just the start of the movie. The basic premise is that uh, at some point, Ryan dies, or sorry, Nick dies, and he
Yes.
goes up to heaven, and heaven has well, I don't know if it's heaven so much as the afterlife, has a police force called the RIPD, which is made up of lawmen from all across time and all across the world who have died, and these guys basically kind of function as a Men in Black
No,
allegory.
basically, no. It is the fucking Men in Black,
They go around, they hunt what are called deados, which are people who avoid being sent up into the afterlife. They hide or somehow
yeah.
avoid going up.
And they corrupt
And
the Earth and turn it
yes,
bad.
they are the reason that there's anything bad in the world,
Global
essentially.
warming, the Black Plague, and bad cell phone reception. I remember that line because it made me mad.
And he is partnered up with Roy Mc something another. He's got a long name there. Everyone just calls him Roy, who is played by Jeff Bridges, who is a former lawman from the 1800s,
1800s.
I believe,
Yep.
who died, and he's now Jeff Bridges as a cowboy.
And by the
And
way, coyotes fucked his face.
they did skull fuck him.
Yeah.
That is something they reveal later on. Um,
This weird turns this
it,
movie makes.
it's the essential. Basically, the plot of the movie is kind of a buddy cop movie between Ryan Reynolds and Jeff
It
Bridges,
is a buddy cop
but
movie.
then it's got the Men in Black sort of sci-fi theme of this isn't they're not fighting criminals, they're fighting dead people who are remain in our world.
Hmm. It,
And a lot of the humor and a lot of the focus of the movie or the entertaining aspect is to come from Jeff Bridges playing this 1800s cowboy in a modern setting. It's Jeff Bridges with a thick southern accent talking about all sorts of things, getting upset if his hat gets touched, all these sort of things And if you like that premise, if you like that concept, you'll probably be able to enjoy a lot of this movie. But the problem most people are probably going to have, or maybe not most people, just certain people, is that this is a movie that in the trailer built itself as a comedy action movie. A lot of the moments in the movie were the jokes of the movie. So you kind of got this idea it was going to be a funny movie. The problem is that there are not actually a lot of jokes to this movie. There are not a lot of gags or punchlines or anything like that. A lot of the humor just comes from the fact that Jeff Bridges does not shut the fuck up in his cowboy voice the entire movie. It's even referenced
he, he
by Nick several times. He's
yeah.
like, "Do you ever shut up?"
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice, yeah. God, I hate this movie.
I did not hate this movie.
I hate it. Well, I gotta stop using the word hate because it's not nearly where I'm at. I mean, like, I hated Grown Ups too. This isn't Grown Ups 2. I'd rather sit through this than Grown Ups 2.
Yeah.
Because it's short. But it's I dislike it. They've done this before, obviously, and they've done it better. I don't understand why they had to do this movie. It's just irritating that the money was spent on something like this.
I'm not too upset about that. It looks like a movie. I don't know what the budget for this movie was. Um, I'm hoping it wasn't tremendously high. But I think the thing that I kind of like about this movie, I'm not a fan
Can you just use
of.
the word like and R.I.P.D.?
Yes.
God damn it, Chris.
Shut up, Randy. I appreciate one thing about this movie greatly, and it's the fact that even though the script and the writing for this movie were not great, and the camera work is atrocious,
Mhm.
um, I cannot say that anyone in the movie put in a bad performance. Everyone gives it 110%, even if that 10% is like, I have to be as wacky and retarded as possible. Because when you get Kevin Bacon
Kevin Bacon was
doing
good.
the shit, like, this guy, you were in fucking Apollo 13,
Mhm.
and now you are throwing up the devil horns in fucking R.I.P.
That was stupid. But I
It's
loved
so
Kevin
silly, but
Bacon.
everyone in this movie puts in so much into their role. Like if these guys hated making this movie, you couldn't tell it because everyone puts so much into it. It doesn't feel like anyone lazied out on it. And I think that's what helps make this movie an enjoyable experience because every person is putting in so much into their roles. So even though the dialogue and things like that don't really come across as memorable, there's not really like one line or joke from this movie that I really found like that's a memorable line I'm always gonna keep with me. There's like a
There's
couple of
two.
jokes that were
There,
tee.
there's a couple that I'll actually keep remembering.
I think the only line I particularly loved, I can't really say it because it's a spoiler, unfortunately.
Well, then you're gonna have to
I'll have to wait.
you'll have to wait.
Well, I mean, at this point, is there anything left to say
I
before getting into spoilers?
CGI's to me look terrible. Look bad. It looks a couple years behind the par. Uh, Story was loose. To me, as far as I don't know why the villains are doing what they're doing. They never tell you why. If
Camera work is also really
Yeah.
weird in this movie. It's a lot of constantly switching the angles and pulling in and out and trying to act as though that makes it stylistic.
Yeah, a lot of Dutch angles. You're looking at Battlefield Earth again.
Yeah, there's another point of guys go in, point a gun, and the camera is going to zoom in on the gun, kind of like you're playing a video game and you go into iron sights mode, and it will zoom in as they fire the bullet, I guess to make the firing of it more dynamic. But there's even points where characters are walking, and the camera like pans down, follows them from below, follows, gets in front of them, and pulls back up, and it's just kind of weird. It's almost like a crane shot if the crane started like moving in a third dimension along the way. It's just kind of weird,
Hmm.
and it's a bit weird because I had to actually like askew my own head during the movie to catch the movie at an angle I wanted to view it at.
Did you watch this in 3D?
I did not watch this in
Okay,
3D.
neither did I.
I have not watched a movie in 3D yet, and I'm
I
going to
was
try to keep that record going as long as I can.
There will be some that I will watch in 3D. I Pacific Rim will be one that I'm going to go back and watch in 3D. But this to me, I wanted to make sure because it looked like it, as far as like the CG, when it comes to shot in 3D, the CG looks kind of goofy sometimes. So I was wondering if it was just that, but no, this was a conversion film. They were just lazy when it came to their CG.
Well, there's only ever been one true movie shot in 3D, right? Isn't that
No,
Avatar?
no, there's been a couple of them after that.
Okay. So yeah, you want to give our grades and then get into spoilers?
Yeah, I can't think of much for this movie. It's a big pile of poop. Go ahead, Chris. What's your score?
I'm gonna give this movie a C minus on my scale. I don't think it's a bad movie.
Hmm.
I just wish the way it was marketed is as a comedy action. I think they do the action well enough that I'm able to really enjoy it there. It's just as a comedy movie, I can't ever really remember laughing during the movie.
I can think of 2 spots, and that's it.
Yeah, there's a few,
But not
moments
like
where I chuckled,
big
but it's
laughs.
not like when I
Yeah.
watched Anchorman or Hangover for the first time, where I was just like, ah! Like I was in the theater,
Because that's an
and
actual movie, Chris.
yeah, and there was nobody really laughing at this movie, and it's not because
My
I don't even
theater.
necessarily know it's because it's unfunny. It's just because it's not. There's no punchline gag structure. It's all just Jeff Bridges talking, and if you find that funny, you laugh at it.
I don't know, because my theater was packed, and on a at 2, afternoon on a Saturday, packed, and people ate this movie up. They were laughing. This movie was hysterical to them. The guy in the same row as me on the other side was just, he was freaking out over this movie.
Perhaps Harrisburg has a more discriminating taste for these kind of movies.
Well, I'm in the middle of fucking bumfuck nowhere in Ohio.
Like Harrisburg is downtown Manhattan.
No, we got the fucking redneck country folk here. They find a donkey turd funny, I bet.
I mean, I'm sure if you put it on a spinning microwave plate, yeah.
Put it on Jeff Bridges' head.
Pretty much. So what would be your ranking?
If you're, I don't know, if you're into this kind of comedy, honestly, I give it a rent. I don't think it's worth paying for at a theater, unless your theater will get you in there for $4, like mine will. Go see it in the theater. But other than that, rent it. Watch on Netflix for free. I don't think it's a pass. I don't think it's that bad to be a pass. So yeah, I'd give it a rent.
So you're batting 0 for 3 in movies thus far on Exposition Dump.
As far as like movies I've actually liked,
On Exposition Dump, because we've technically done this 2 weeks prior discussing movies,
mm-hmm.
but we weren't recording then.
Mm-hmm.
So you missed getting the chance to be like, I liked World War Z.
I loved World War Z.
All 3 movies we've done with Lone Ranger, Pacific Rim, and R.I.P.D. You're just like, fuck this movie.
Pacific Rim, Pacific Rim, I'm holding my tongue on still. It's still up in the air for me. What'd I give that movie?
I think you gave it a rent.
Yeah. It might change. I think the best thing when it comes to Pacific Rim is the draw to see it in the theater is just the audio. That'd be a fucking fantastic thing just for the audio, the big screen and shit like that. But other than that, no.
Yeah.
And then we got, we'll get into, no, actually, yeah, well, let's do what we got next week for anybody who's leaving, because we're going to go into spoiler territory now. But next week we have the Wolverine, I believe.
Yes, the Wolverine. Is there a title to that other than the subtitle?
No, it's just the Wolverine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I believe it's the reboot. It's a reboot of the franchise, or reboot of the origin, I guess, or something. I don't know. I haven't followed the Silver Samurai story in forever.
I think it's just telling the Japan story again.
I'm not
Because
sure.
Wolverine's always has a part of his story where he goes to Japan, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
We are sadly not going to be seeing Blue Jasmine.
There's a lot of movies that we're sadly not going to be able to see.
Or the to-do list where Aubrey Plaza is an awkward high school student going to college and she wants to have sex with the hottest guy in the school.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. She's a virgin, but she can't believe it because it's Aubrey Plaza.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Yeah, we're not seeing that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Week after, I think we're doing Two Guns, right?
Believe so.
So there's a little heads up for you on what we'll be doing.
Yeah, for the next 2 weeks, yeah. I'd have to double check my list because apparently I'm the only one who keeps a list of what the fuck we're doing.
I have vague ideas, but I forget bits and pieces of it.
Wolverine, Two Guns. Yep. And then a very awful week after that because we don't know what we're doing still.
Yeah, we'll figure it all out as time goes on.
But okay, on to spoilers for R.I.P.D. Honestly,
Okay.
I want to get to I'm gonna get to my actual pros for this movie.
Okay.
The very beginning of this movie, actually after the part where he gets hit with a car, they cut to the past. You'll understand. The whole thing is like him in the locker room with Kevin Bacon's character talking about, how he has to give up the gold that he found because his wife, or his fiancee or something like that, girlfriend or whatever, isn't worried about money, and he's, having a change of heart when it comes to stealing this gold. So, then you get the Kevin Bacon thing, is that, Kevin Bacon understands, he's going to do it too, leading you to believe that. But I want to see that movie.
Where Kevin Bacon and Ryan Reynolds are Boston cops.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be bad. I
where
like
they steal
buddy cop movies.
where they steal the gold, and up to where they steal the gold, that's where the movie fucking ends. Like them, like what are we gonna do now with this kind of gold? Credits, or we see after it, we just forget that RAPD even happened, and we see what happens to him after the fact. I think that'd be a good movie. I want to see that, but no, we got this bullshit instead.
I would not use so strong of words. The biggest spoiler is that obviously Kevin Bacon turns out to be the villain in this. He's the one who kills Nick, and
shoots him in the face.
Yeah, and it turns out he's actually a deado, and the reason he's been able to keep his identity secret for so long is that he's been using basically a charm repellent device to keep himself hidden.
Which is a
St. Christopher's medallion, which should throw up red flags already because no one has those. I mean, St. Christopher isn't even a real saint by patron standards.
Shut up, Chris.
Never been patronized. Also, he's the patron saint of travel, so I like if you use him for prayers for traveling, I don't really that really help with a cop. Like, I hope I don't get hit on the car ride over to the dangerous gunfight.
Fuck were they driving a it wasn't a Charger. What's the other thing? A Dodge Challenger when everybody else was using SWAT cars or cop cars. And SWAT.
Well, that's one of the weird.
Are they undercover cops or something? Or
that's one of the weird little bits I didn't get about the movie because they actually seem to have high-ranking seniority within the
police department.
Within the department because they seem to be leading this charge. What's his name? Bacon seems to actually have a bit of like he's the one who gives like the lesson of the day sort of speech to everybody.
Don't get shot.
Yeah. So you'd think that they wouldn't be making great money because cops don't make amazing amounts of money unless you're really at the top. But it seems like they should be making enough to have very solid lives. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why he's stuck in some shitty house in the middle of like a crowded area of downtown Boston. I'm just like, dude, get a better credit score. You don't need gold.
There's little things that bugged me about this movie. Coming from SWAT myself, when they surrounded that building, I don't understand why the cops are going in first, and I don't understand why. What's his nuts? Ryan Reynolds' character was granted a vest while Kevin Bacon's character didn't get a vest. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did see that.
It bothered me. I was like, what? Why? Clearly they got some. I don't know why he didn't wear his. Is it to make him look like he's a badass or something?
Yeah, probably. Something along those lines.
Little things bother me sometimes. But, I don't know. My other pro of this movie, it's short. That's it.
Yeah, it is a pretty short movie.
And Adam Sandler wasn't in it. That's probably the third good thing.
He's on a kick of anti.
Yeah.
Fucking Adam Sandler.
I had to sit through Grown Ups too. If you sat through it too, you would be too.
I haven't seen an Adam Sandler movie since Anger Management, I think.
Good.
Which I liked, actually.
I didn't, but
I was a teenager at the time. I was 13 or 14 at the time, so I can kind of... understand why I liked Adam Sandler movies at that point. Anyway, on to R.I.P.D.
Yeah.
I don't dislike this movie, and I really want to like it more than I do. It really just comes down to the fact that I came into it really hoping for a good blend of comedy and action, and I didn't really get it. Like, part of the problem is I think this is one of those movies that put probably some of its best stuff in the trailer. Like the one scene that hooked me in the trailer for wanting to see this is when Ryan Reynolds. They establish early on that even though these guys are back on the planet, they don't look like who they are
Yeah.
to preserve their identity. So Ryan Reynolds looks like an old Chinese guy. So Ryan Reynolds is about to shoot an alien when a car comes and hits him, and all these people gather around. So when they see it, what they see is they see this old Chinese guy getting up and like, "Nothing to see here, carry on," and he's like holding
A banana.
the guns. They see this banana. They looks like he's firing like a gun. And it was so surreal and stupid that it made me laugh. And I thought the movie would be a lot of stuff like that,
No.
but it's not, honestly.
Except for when all the guys that keep hitting on Jeff Bridges' avatar, which is
Yeah.
a very disgusting looking blonde girl with inflatable tits, apparently.
I believe she was a Victoria's Secret model, but
She was disgusting.
that's because you have ridiculously high standards. For everything,
6 out of
Randy.
10. Yep.
5 yards. The one line in this movie, though, that wasn't in the trailer that I absolutely do like is Ryan Reynolds goes to visit his wife at her house after it's all happened. He sees Kevin Bacon going to visit her. And Jeff Bridges and the little cowboy is like, "Well, it looks like he's sleeping with your wife. Well, unless maybe you two had some pact to delete all the porn off your computer. That wouldn't be weird. That would just be honorable." Like, it was like a funny line that was in there. But outside of that, like, there are some, like, he bits in there.
I like
But-
that she goaded me. I like that line. I don't know why. It's just she goaded me.
There are some alright points, but there's nothing like hysterical. This is nothing that I felt like I was just gonna like laugh out loud during.
Yeah.
And part of the problem is like this is a comic book movie, even if it's not an IP that a lot of people know. And because of that, there are things in this movie that are very stupid, like the fact that Indian food is the way to reveal if a deado is dead or not, because
Mhm.
they can't stand it, freaks them out.
Or was it?
Or that the celestial agency in heaven talks to the peons by sending in drawings colored in and fucking send it through like golden buckets.
A garbage can, basically,
Yeah, like
with a lid.
It's like little stupid things like that you have to accept because it's probably in the source material like that, and then you kind of just want the rest of the movie to flow along with that same tone, and it kind of does. It's just there's no jokes. Like, I just want like it's not even like the jokes are bad. It's just so much of the humor is Jeff Bridges being this cowboy character.
It gets on you. It did for me. He wore on me for a while towards the end of the movie. You said the characters are bitching at him because they want him to shut up, and I started to sympathize with Ryan Reynolds for a while.
Right there with you, like,
I'm
oh
like,
my God,
oh my.
shut up, Jeff Bridges. Like, it's, like the rest of the movie's structure is fine, I felt. Like, I kind of like the scene at the end where they're charging to stop the device, and they're both covering each other's back without needing to say anything. They're, like, spinning around, getting around each other to hit aliens. And, this big two-headed one's coming at Ryan Reynolds, and he doesn't even have to turn around because Jeff Bridges gets both of them at once. It's cool scenes like that make the action cool and make the story sort of flow. And
But they all have the stormtrooper syndrome. Not one of them can shoot these guys in the open.
No,
They're not taking cover. There's no fear in these guys.
The way they play it up is that it's almost like an old Western movie.
I don't care.
And they even
You can't
reference it-
sympathize for these characters if you can't think they might die or get sent to the or get whited out or whatever, erased or whatever it's called whenever they get shot with one of these bullets.
Mhm.
There's no fear at all, and it pisses me off when a movie does that. These guys are bulletproof. At least, give me some options. Like that one part where you just brought up where, it looked like Ryan Reynolds was going to die or get shot by the two-headed dude. That's fine. That was better. But, I needed more than that in this huge fucking gunfight that lasts like 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's also one of those things.
There were no close calls either.
No one gets shot in this movie beyond random RIPD agents who you don't really know anything about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of it is because this is a comic book movie's first movie. I don't think there's going to be a sequel to R.I.P.D.
Fuck no, there ain't.
But it's one of those things that when you want to make the first of like a comic book movie, the hero tends to be a little bit bulletproof because you want to show everyone how cool they
Fucking
are.
Iron Man got his ass beat.
Yeah,
Captain America
but
got his ass beat.
that's,
Batman got his ass beat.
that's
Hold on, you
yeah,
want me to name
I
off
guess
some
it's
more
kind of
fucking
like an
superheroes that got their ass beat?
it's got like an action movie.
Bullshit. No,
Uh,
no.
I,
These
I,
guys are
I
still
think they were
bulletproof.
just trying to show off how cool these guys are.
Yeah, it was Legolas syndrome.
Yeah.
They can do no wrong. They have plot armor. There is nothing about them or there's nothing around them that can possibly touch them. It bothers me. I hated that. There was another scene that bothered me too because I just don't understand why. Is okay, they're in the cars. They're they're trying to get to this building where this statue has been erected to basically reverse the thing that sucks souls up to bring the souls back down to attack Earth or do something because we don't know why they're doing this at all. They never explain that, by the way. So they're driving through this thing, and these little portals keep popping up throughout the city, right? And one of them pops up in this parking, like what do they call it, a parking garage. And so like the garage is being torn apart, it's falling over, and cars are spilling out into the street, right?
Yes.
So they're driving through this thing. This parking garage must be like 15 miles long, but they're driving through this thing, and they're making quips to each other about this thing, what's happening, and they're slamming into other cars, watching other cars fall on the people that are pursuing them, and then they just start randomly screaming when nothing changes, and then randomly stop, and then they just stop. I'm like, what changed in that 2-minute period to make you guys scream that was already not there, that's added to the scene? Nothing. Nothing changed. No new cars. Nothing came in their. Nothing was falling in their direction. They just started screaming for no apparent reason. This a lot of stupid shit happens in this movie that they never explain. The bad guys, they're collecting this gold so they can make what's that thing called, the Pillar of Jericho, the staff of whatever.
Jericho staff or something. Staff
Yeah.
of Jericho something.
So they're collecting this gold so they can depolarize the suctiony thing to drop all the souls back down to Earth. Why? Do they want the souls to attack the Earth, to take over? Well, these aren't all evil souls. They're just random ones, you're going to get some good guys, you're going to get some bad guys. You're probably going to get a lot more good guys than bad guys. I think this would be a bad thing for them to do. I don't understand the motivations behind, Kevin Bacon and his minions. There's no reason for them to do what they did.
I guess they were just looking to look, RIPD agents can never get us if the dead control the world.
But they're assuming that the dead will even do it.
Well, I guess they're figuring that if the world of living is like this, it throws what heaven is into. I'm sure in the comic book that this plot is based
It doesn't
off
matter.
Of,
It doesn't matter because it's not in the movie.
But in the movie, it is a lot of you kind of had to figure it out yourself.
Because they don't tell you anything. I hate when movies do this to you. Yeah. I don't care if it's done in one scene. Satan told me to. Okay, got it. Good. Wanted that.
I know what to do now.
Yeah. I know why you're doing this. Huzzah. I'm happy. But no, we got fucking nothing. There's a lot of these little things that are in this movie. Actually, I wouldn't say that because that's a huge plot hole in my mind. That happened in this movie that just completely destroyed it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jeff Bridges overacted in my mind. To me, it looked like he tried way too hard.
I don't think he tried too hard. I really can't criticize a single performance in this movie.
I thought Ryan phoned it in.
No, I liked him for the most part. The only thing I think he phoned in is at the very beginning, when half of the movie is just a close-up on Ryan Reynolds' face and completely blank expressions.
I got to see a girl in her underwear. There, that's a plus for this movie. You want to see a girl's ass? There you go.
Yeah. What is her name?
Fuck if I know and fuck if I care.
Stephanie Suzatak? I don't know. It's a French chick. She was nice. I liked her.
She got a good butt.
Good ass, according to Randy.
About all I
guess.
saw.
She's apparently in Iron Man 3. There you go.
Eh. But I bet you don't see her ass in that movie.
Nah, probably not.
There, go see this movie to go see an ass. And then you'll be an ass for going to see this movie.
I think people have the internet, Randy. I think you're good.
Google that shit. No. I can't think of anything else. There's nothing to this movie. Like I said, the only line I like was there's the scene, or there's this chick in this movie who's the one who talks to Ryan Reynolds when he first dies and tells him to soak it in, you know, and gives him basically the choice to either go to Judgment or take the RIPD badge and shoot bad guys. Apparently there's this long-lasting, or this short-lasting relationship between this chick and Roy's character, or the Roy character, and at the very end it finally, I guess, pays off because of the attention that they've been trying to build up this whole thing, where she buys, because he loses his hat, by the way, and she buys him a new hat, or finds him a new hat, or finds his hat, and she gives it back to him, and she does this weird thing where she's kind of like, you know, like
going in for a kiss.
It's weird, like she's fighting it, but she wants to like roar at him, or like do something, and then all she does is bite his beard or his goatee, and walks off. And oh, by the way, his character also has a fascination for ankles.
Yeah,
I'll never let you see my ankles. And he just looks back and he looks at the other character and goes, "She just goated me," and for some reason that made me laugh. I didn't like ha 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 laugh, but it's like
you were like, ah.
No, I was like, just the way he said it, and ever since she got those boots, I've never been to see those. I'm never gonna see those ankles again because she got those boots or something.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Not much else to say about this movie.
Movie's big pig all the poop.
It's pretty harmless. I think I just really don't know what to recommend this to like a particular someone. I think if you like the trailers, you might enjoy the movie, like I ended up, but it's definitely not the best movie you could be watching at this point in the summer.
Fuck no, it ain't. Go watch World War Z, goddammit.
I think it's out of theaters.
Nah, it's still in theaters. For just a little bit longer.
Watch it then.
Yeah. Stop thinking it's a goddamn book. It is a book, but stop thinking that when you go into it. It's going to be better for you that way. Well. But yeah, I think that's it.
Alright.
You good?
I'm good.
Alright, tune in for next week. We will be reviewing The Wolverine. God, I hope this is... I hope this is something better. I really do. I need a good movie right now. I really do.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Everybody, we'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.